what am I going to do here? I'm going to take, got some wire strippers, and this is stranded wire. If you notice, there's not much of a tip on there, is there? It's less than half an inch. They really should give me a little bit more than that. This is stranded wire, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of twist it together. You know, just make it one. And I'm going to strip this back a little bit. Like that. Now I noticed too, I'm going to do that again. I stripped it too far back because I have different stripper areas here. You do it too much and you'll take off some of the stranded wire. And that's what I just did. Okay, so lucky that I've got plenty, because I don't want to cut any of the strands off. You see, the first time I stripped it, see how there's some left on there? I don't want to do that. Look at all that I would have missed. Okay, so I'm going to do that on this one here too. Make it longer. Come on. Yeah, it's hard to get off because the very end was all matted down. So I'm just going to cut that and strip off. You can strip off small increments at a time to make it easier. Okay. Now those two are ready, and I've got my white wire here. See, white, black, and green. See how the white wire is all matted? That's what I was having a hard time. I'm just going to snip that off because I have plenty. So now I can just kind of do a little bit at a time. Make it easier to pull that off. I like to twist this all together. Okay, like that. Now I can use my new wire nuts. Remember the old ones? I only had 2 wire nuts. And see how much bigger these are? Look at that. See how big that is? See how little this is? Well, because I only have to go from a stranded wire to a solid wire up there, I can use the small ones. And I only had 2 old ones. I could use the old ones in a pinch, but I'm not going to have to, am I? Let's just keep the camera rolling, shall we? Okay. Get this resituated. Hopefully you can see that. And get up there. Do one of these at a time. I probably shouldn't put these in my mouth, but oh well. I just dropped my screw too. The mounting screw. Okay. Now you just have to hold this up here all together. And because I got my ground wire here, I'm going to take it and I'm going to kind of wrap that on there like that before I put the nut on. Get it snug. That. And kind of pull on your wires, make sure that they're going to hold. And it looks like the copper wire is kind of long. Just the tip. I'm going to cut off just a little bit of it. Make it shorter. Okay. And I'm still going to kind of wrap this just a hair like that. put it on. Okay, pull on it. You'd be surprised. Sometimes you think, oh, it's tight, there's nothing wrong with it. And then you go to pull on it, son of a gun, it comes right off. Sometimes that happens. Usually it's the times when you don't check it. Later on you got an issue. It could be just because the wire hit on there just right and you thought the wire nut was on there tight. Son of a gun, it wasn't. It was tight on one side and it kept it from getting tight on the other one. Okay, so this is going to be held up like that. Let's see, right now I can let go of this. Ta-da! Now I want to push these wires back in. Goodbye, black wire. Goodbye, Mr. White Wire. And Mr. Ground Wire, you get to go in there too. Kind of like that. Okay. And then I'll be able to get this in there. It looks like it's got just a little slop. Okay. Look at that. And I've got to get my screw. Came out. That one screw is the only thing that's going to hold this up here. Hold your mouth just right. Looks like it's going. Where that screw is, you need to make sure there's no wire nuts or anything behind there. I was careful with that. I'm going to hold that up there, make sure it's not pushed on any of the wires. Man, they could have done with a little bit wider diameter box, couldn't they have? It's barely covering on the stucco. Come on. What's the deal here, DVO? Doesn't seem like it's... Oh, I guess it's going. Boy. There it goes. I've got these facing. You can put these however you want, but I'm going to keep the lights straight across and I can adjust these after the fact. Okay. Kind of liking that right there. And they only had white and black at the store. So I opted for the white ones because the outside trim, well, it's kind of a off-white, and the door jamb inside is white. Okay, now this, see, I can unscrew that and then I can push this out at an angle. And I think I kind of like it right like that. And this side, see, I can do something about like that. Let's see. And then the tops have a screw on it. And I can adjust the head back and forth that way. Something like that. Okay. I thought I had that screw tight, but it's going a little bit more because the stucco is not perfectly flat. Okay, there. Now I can stand back and I can see, do I want it like that? Do I want this head, this front head down a little bit, or what? Okay, and it came with this little rubber goodie here, and that's for the screw. And that's going to fit over that. I'm just going to make sure that's tight there. That fits in there like so. Oh, that's kind of slick. Okay, I'm thinking maybe this head should come down a little bit like that. Now let's turn the light on. There. The thing I like about this too, these were LED lights. They're nice and bright too. Now this, I'm going to have to read the directions and see what the trick is. You see, you can use it like a regular light switch, on, off. But there's a way to do it where you turn it on and then you leave it on. I'll have to read up on the directions here for a minute, let you know how that works. Oh, brother. You know what? This whole thing installed nice and easy, didn't it? And I told you it should have a time delay on it or something, and there's a way to adjust it. Well, look at this. This is how it came. It says security, switch controlled security. And usually you can get these where you turn the light switch on. Of course you have to have it on. And then there's usually a seeing eye or something up here, so that a motion sensor. Well, this one apparently does not have it. I don't see anything on it. I'm going to have to go back to the store because after I turned it on, it's not going off. You should be able to leave the light switch on, and then this will go off during the day. And the only time it's going to go on is at night when you have motion around here. This one apparently does not have that. So there's a tip for you. I'm going to have to go back to the store and check it out. I thought, I must not have read this closely enough. I thought because it said security, that meant it was going to be motion censored. Why would you just have this without motion sensor and call it security? I don't know. Okay? But they should have another one very similar to this, probably going to cost a little bit more, that is controlled exactly the same way. It gets installed the same way. And then you'll have a little thing where you can adjust it for motion up to 10 feet, 15 feet, whatever, down the little side of your garage. Okay? So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to title this, how to install a light fixture maybe, or something, but you know, any other type of light fixture basically gets mounted the same way. Well, that's all I have for this time, but I'll be back with more